What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys an overview and install of the Messick Stabilizer Kit. This is something that Messicks has just came out with. They just started making their own products, and this is, I think, one of their first products that they have made. The part number here is K2561-38300FR. I'm also going to have the part number and a link in the video description if you guys are interested in buying this. So these are built for anybody who owns a Kubota BX, who's looking for a much easier way to connect their 3-point hitch implements without having to grab a tool out to adjust their current stabilizers that come stock on these tractors. The stock stabilizers, just a couple of threaded loops with some threaded rod in between them. And what you do is you just crack this jam nut loose here, put a wrench on this nut here, and you just spin this rod in or out, depending on how loose or tight you want your 3-point hitch to be. If you got a larger implement, you're usually going to loosen these up, and if you got a smaller implement, you're usually going to tighten them. One of the biggest hassles that I find with these is that when you're hooking up a new implement, to be able to get your arms pulled out far enough to go around the pins on the ends, you have to pretty much unadjust this completely. That way you can get your arms pulled out far enough to go over the side pins. So what I ended up doing with mine, since it was always such a pain in the butt, was I actually installed cotter pins, you could see here. And I would actually just pull a cotter pin out and pull out these pins on these little clevises here. And then that would allow me to just drop one end or the other. And then that would allow me to pivot my sidearms outward. And then that way I can get the pin secured. And then once I did that, I would adjust this, repin it, and be on my way. But as you can see there, that's quite a bit of steps, and it can be quite a hassle to get your 3-point hitch implement all connected. So with the Messicks kit, I'll show you real quick how it works. Out of the box, this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get 2 outer pieces and 2 inside pieces. You're also gonna get the manual, and you're also gonna get a bag of pins and clips to put it all together. Just off first sight, these things look very well built. The powder coat finish is a very nice finish. They really feel like glass in your hands. You got nice beefy welds here. They're all ground down nice and smooth, so there's nothing sharp sticking out. Everything looks really nice with the welds. Craftsmanship is really on point with these. I'm really impressed with how nice they turned out. Now, one thing you're gonna notice before you put these together is that on the ends of the inside pieces here, you can see that these holes are offset. So these offsets are gonna go towards the outside of the tractor. So this would be the left side going towards the tractor, and then this would be the right side. So you can see how those holes are offset going outward. So that's one thing you want to keep in mind, because then these outside pieces here, you're going to have these also going towards the outside. So you can see how this is offset in one direction. You're going to want to have them just like so. So that way everything is facing basically towards the outside of the tractor. So all your offsets should be off to the left or the right of the tractor itself. So that's basically how you're going to put them. You're just going to slide these inside pieces right into the outside pieces here. So just like that. So what I'm gonna do now is show you guys how to install these. Before I do this, so you guys have a better view, I wanna take off my custom heavy hitch that I built here. Now, typically you'd have to remove these one by one and you gotta pull this off. Well, if you guys remember a while back, I actually made my own suitcase weight bracket cart. And I'll actually put a link to that video right here. So if you guys wanna go and watch that video, you guys can. In that video, I show you guys how to build your own weight bracket cart. So that cart is actually right here. And since the day I finished it, it's been hanging up over there on the wall. And I have not used it yet. So I've been really wanting to try this out, but I really didn't have a reason to remove my heavy hitch or my weight brackets up until now. So now I got a good reason to use it, so we could finally give this thing its first test as well. So I'm kind of excited about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide this in place. We'll get this thing dropped off, and then we'll get going on this install. All right, so if any of you guys haven't seen one of these carts before, they're very simple. You could actually buy these as well. I decided to build my own since I could, and it only cost me about 30 bucks, I think. But I got a 2-inch receiver here. We're just gonna slide this in to the receiver on my suitcase weight bracket here. I'm just gonna slide this in place, just like so. And then once that's in place here, we can just unlock our quick hitch. We lift these handles up here. And then we're all set to drop this whole entire weight bracket with the weights off onto this cart, and I could roll it on out of the way. Now the quick hitch is completely disconnected from my weight bracket, and I should be able to just roll this thing right out of the way. Just like so. So that's what's really nice about these weight carts. This is why you really should have one if you don't want to kill your back. If I want to hook up a rear implement, all I got to do is set it down on this cart. I could just roll it around, roll it off into the corner of my shed, and I could back up to my new implement and lift up on it. So I'm going to get this thing rolled out of the way, and then we'll get back to the install of the upgraded stabilizer kit. All right, guys, so now I got my weight bracket out of the way and get you guys a much better view here. So removing your old stabilizers is a very simple task. If you guys never messed with your stabilizer link pins before, you're probably gonna have a standard pin in here. For me, as I explained earlier, I just got regular cotter pins in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out. And once you've got your clips out of the way, you can go ahead and pull the pin out of the clevis here. Just like that. Now we can go ahead and do the other side here. Pull that pin out of the clevis. And we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. All right, so now that I got them all up on a bench here, you guys can see the difference between the standard stock stabilizer links and the upgraded stabilizer links. You can see just how much easier these are going to be for you. The one issue with these stock ones is that the threads always end up rusting on you. Getting these jam nuts loose can be a difficult task. Sometimes they seize up on you. Even the rod inside these clevises here, these can seize up, and you got to constantly keep these oiled and lubricated. I would always try to spray like WD-40 and stuff on mine, so that when I did have to adjust them, they would actually move for me. So they could just be a pain. So you guys can see just how much easier these are going to make your life. So let's get back down to the tractor and we'll slap these things on. Okay, so we're going to start with the right side first. And like I said at the beginning of the video, you're going to have an offset on either side. So we're going to want the offset off to the outer side of the tractor. So we got that offset in the right spot. And this offset on this side here, you can see it's going off to the outside of the tractor. So this is going to be our right side link. In the little baggie of clips that they give you, they're all the same. So you're just going to want to grab one clip and one pin. Get one side started here. Pop our cotter pin in here. Okay, once our ender's installed, go ahead and install the outer piece. Okay, so that's one installed. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, now with the left side one, I got my offset towards the left side, and again, towards the outside of the tractor. Then again, with the back one here, we got the offset going towards the outside of the tractor. The kit came with these standard clips here. I'm not going to use these only because I already had regular cotter pins, and then this way, if I ever need to take this apart for whatever reason or get this out of my way, I could easily do so in the future. But you definitely don't need to use these anymore because there's no reason to quickly remove these ends anymore now that these are fully adjustable with just removing a single pin. All right, so now we got all our cotter pins installed. Now the only thing left to do is install our final two pins here and our last two clips. Now because I already have my quick hitch in place, and this is what I use for the most part, I'm just gonna go ahead and pin the adjustment hole for where it's at right now because I know it's set since my implement is already on here. So the hole that you guys choose is gonna be obviously a different hole depending on what you have on your 3-point hitch, whether it's a quick hitch or whether you're putting an implement on. But that's the nice thing about this. So when you don't have an implement on here and you go to adjust this, you'll be able to just slide this entire stabilizer bar in and out. And once you find the adjustment hole that fits best for your implement, you're gonna go ahead and drop your pin through and you'll be all set. So now I'm just gonna be finding the adjustment hole that best fits my implement. So it's looking like this hole right here. Same thing with the other side. Now the only thing left to install is our two remaining cotter pins. So that is the process to installing the Messicks upgraded rear stabilizer kit. It's a really fantastic kit. If you guys are using a lot of 3-point hitch implements and you're getting tired of adjusting the factory ones and having to grab crescent wrenches and spray and lube them to keep them from rusting, this is definitely the upgrade for you. The usability is there, the build quality is there, and overall it's just a fantastic product. Products like this could save you a lot of time, and in the end it could save you a lot of money. The price of these stabilizers is $189 on Messick's website. Neil Messick actually said that this is a #1 upgrade for your tractor, and I'd have to agree with him. Overall, it's a fantastic upgrade and well worth the money. So let's go ahead and get the weight bracket cart rolled back over here and get the weight bracket back on the tractor. It looks good right there. You just drop my lock, and then you just pull your cart back out. All right, guys, so overall, just a really great kit. It's nice that they give you a little instruction manual here. Not that it's really needed, but it's nice for people to have, maybe first timers and that kind of thing. Really great that they actually included all the hardware for you, because realistically, you could have reused your old hardware as it is the same size, but if your hardware is anything like mine, it's all rusty and beat up. I actually had to drive one of the pins out with a hammer, so it's really nice that they thought of this and included you some brand new hardware. So overall, just a fantastic kit. I would definitely recommend it to anybody looking for an easier way to hook up their 3-point hitch implements. You know, I do have a quick hitch, but still, the quick hitch will not connect to everything. You know, there's certain implements where you need to remove the quick hitch. I've actually personally needed to remove it quite a bit. You know, not everything is quick hitch compatible. So just because you may have a quick hitch doesn't mean the stabilizer upgrade kit isn't good for you, because I can guarantee there's times where you guys are going to need to remove your quick hitch to install an implement. And when that time comes, you're going to be very thankful you have these brand new updated stabilizers. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it was informative, and hopefully this helps you guys install them as well. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next one.